an opportunity to do that as soon as the call is finished. But today I just wanted to introduce myself, let you know that I love coaching leaders, and I want to welcome you to today's topic, which is how to use today's best marketing tools. And these are mobile marketing tools to grow your business. And I'd like to do that by welcoming my good friend and CEO of the IT Workshop, Darren Patoni. But before I do that, I just want to touch briefly on our next Champions Edge call. And so hopefully you are seeing our slide up, and we will transition to the Champions Edge call scheduled for next month with our CEO, Daniel Harkavy. Mark your calendars for October 14th. And you see the information there on how to end the year with a bang. And I'm excited to hear from Daniel on that topic. I hope you are too. Just a brief reminder, as always, these calls are recorded. We do post them by the end of the business day to our website at buildingchampions.com, and we hope that you will not only go back and review those, but potentially share those with someone in your network, because we hope you'll find a lot of value out of them and look forward to sharing those. Let's go ahead and introduce our guest, Darren Patoni. Darren is, in fact, the CEO of the IT Workshop. You see his logo there on the screen, and I love their slogan. You know, it used to be managing your technology so you could manage your business, but you'll notice that brief update there, and that's one of the things we'll focus on today is ways you can grow your business, and I love a company that's thinking that way. Darren's a graduate of ASU. He's a huge Sun Devil fan, and that's where I met Darren many years ago. We first introduced the idea of working together and consulting with each other and coaching a long time ago, but it was originally started during our time at ASU. Darren has been running the IT Workshop since 1999, and I hope he'll have an opportunity to share a little bit more about his vision with the IT Workshop. But I want to remind you, because typically our calls are focused on coaching topics, and this one might have a little bent to it that sounds a little bit more like a marketing push, but that's because it's a marketing topic. I just want to remind you that Darren runs a local managed service practice in Phoenix, Arizona, and that means he's like the IT back office for his clients. So today's not a pitch for him to be your IT company. In fact, unless you're one of those companies that's in Phoenix, Arizona, that's not even his capacity to serve you in that way. He's really here today to share with us some applications that he is using with his clients, where he's been able to combine technologies that these clients already have and already use, and develop a really, really great forward-thinking, simple, and cost-effective marketing tool. So today we're just going to get the benefit of his experience and clear vision of where we might be able to use those tools in our businesses. So Darren, before we dig in, as a coach, I always like to pause. I like to stop up front and ask a really basic question, which is typically, why are we doing this? So I'm going to ask you first, why is a managed service provider helping clients with marketing?
Well, Michael, it sure is good to be with you this morning. First of all, thank you for allowing me the opportunity. The Building Champions Edge webinar delivers a ton of value. I've received a ton of value from it in the past. It just seems like a couple of months ago we had Dr. Henry Cloud on the call delivering tremendous value, talking about his new book. Since that book has come out, I've read it. I probably purchased 25 copies of that book to give it out to friends that I thought would be of value to them. And it was probably 5 or 6 months ago that our leadership team got together, starting to think, what kind of solutions can we bring to our existing managed service clients that will provide more value to them? Things that will eliminate the idea that, you know, IT is just, information technology today is just a huge expenditure. What kind of things can we deliver to them to help them grow, to help them make more money in their practice? That would be a value-added service. We're always looking for ways to add value. And one of the ways we did that, we bought a bunch of copies of Boundaries for Leaders, and man, I think that added tremendous value. And this is one of those ways that I think once we showed our clients some different ways to use mobile marketing, particularly a text message delivery mechanism combined with a mobile web app together, those two pieces create new entirely ecosystems for revenue generation. And that part is really exciting, and there's some new market trends that I think are significant for all of those on the call today to pay attention to, because market trends do drive a lot of things, and in the IT world, it is the fastest changing industry in the world, bar none. Wow. Nothing moves this fast. And you can't follow every individual market trend, but this is one that's significant, because there have been some market trends in the past that companies didn't pay attention to, or they didn't execute. When you think about how many of us on the call used to buy Kodak film, right? Lots of people used to buy Kodak film. How many of you are still buying CDs? Some of you are on this call saying, what are CDs, believe it or not? Or cassette tapes. Or how many of you on the call had 8-track tapes or still have Blackberries, right? These are all market leaders, but changes in market trends happened over time, and this is one of those pieces that's happening, and it'd be great for people to capitalize and learn and see some of these changes and trends happening.
Darren, I'm excited to hear about it. So let me at least answer the same question, because someone might ask, okay, well, why is Building Champions hosting this call? And I need to answer why I set this up, because truthfully, as a coach, I love helping my clients find creative, easy, inexpensive ways to stand out from their competition. Because at the end of the day, I hear this all the time as a coach. They want to be helped with areas of their business, but at the end of the day, they need to know how to be more efficient and more profitable. And what I love is this strategy is really simple. It hits all three. It is creative, it is easy, it is inexpensive, and I'm excited to share it. So let's talk about how to stand out by taking a look at how you have overviewed the convergence of marketing technologies that are available to businesses today, because many businesses are familiar with advertising, cold calling, direct mail, and a lot of them even email marketing, so they're not unfamiliar with marketing platforms and capacity to take their message to the masses. But we're talking about mobility marketing solutions. So, I mean, I got to state the obvious up front to give you an opportunity to tee this up. Mobile websites aren't new. We've seen those before. Texting, not new at all. We've seen that before. And certainly marketing your product or service via automation, like using an email marketing tool, not new at all. So, I guess I really have to ask, Darren, why mobile?
Well, of the core 4 nexus markets in particular, in the technology world, there's social, there's information, there's data capture, there's cloud, and then there's mobile. The mobile technology in general is really hot right now. It's evolving faster than anything we've seen before. I mean, literally in our business, we've seen more change happen in the last year than I've seen in the last 5 years with mobile technology. It has some of the highest open rates at 95%. And of all of us that are on the call who use marketing to get information out there about our business, whether it's direct mail or banner ads, billboards, flyers, brochures, you name it by themselves, these older marketing channels, see, they're not going away, they're just changing, right? They're prone to spam. They're less effective as they were before. So mobile, multi-channel marketing, they keep you in front of marketing and communication with your constituents, with your clients, with those that you want to serve. So in terms of why mobile, I have a few objectives that I think will provide tremendous value. Number one is when you combine a smartphone app, okay, with the delivery of a text messaging system, you can literally create an entirely new revenue stream for your organization.
Wow.
That's significant. Objective number 2 is I would like people to start thinking, how could we use something like this in our business by combining these two types of marketing tools, because this information might help you prepare for the future in embracing new marketing trends.
Excellent, excellent. Well, then, I think we need to I guess state the obvious. You know, the market is already mobile, right? All of us have a phone. In fact, some of us don't want to admit it right now, but while we are on this webinar, we're checking our iPhone, we're checking that Android device. It's part of our hand. We carry this thing with us everywhere. So now that we know that the market is mobile, tell us about these tools and how to use them with our smartphones, because I think that's the direction that we need to learn about.
Well, let me give you a couple of comparisons here and show you why this is extremely relevant.
Okay.
Email marketing today has a 10% attachment rate. Okay, so what that means is for every email that you send out, for every 100 of those emails, 10 of them get read. Even less of those get acted upon, right? And that's just the world we live in today. It's a lot of noise in email. A lot of us communicate by email. We still continue to market by email, and we ask people to put us on their safe senders list so that the email can come in, and that's where we receive a lot of information. Comparatively, opt-in mobile text messaging has a 97% attachment rate, okay? And even over 90% of those are actually acted upon. Now, I really like those numbers. That's huge. So just by communicating this information and learning how to use these tools, all of a sudden, we can get that information out to our clients, because some of this information is extremely valuable. We want to help people, whether we're a service industry, whether we're a retail industry, and this is across all types of industries. This is some really exciting stuff. The added value makes you more competitive. It improves branding and communication by staying on the forefront of some of these mobile technologies. So a really big deal when it comes to using mobile technologies. Another reason to use mobile technologies is that literally this can be cross-platform. It's platform agnostic, meaning it works on an iPhone, it works on an Android, it works on a Microsoft device, it works on a BlackBerry, for those of you still buying cassette tapes and 8-track tapes today. And so it doesn't mean we have to go out and necessarily spend a ton of money and finding new ways to connect with people. Our clients and those that we want to reach already have these tools. They already have mobile, and they're embracing them. So opt-in mobile text messaging combined with a mobile web app is changing the rules and changing the economics of some of these marketing trends as well.
Okay, well, I've heard you in previous conversations we've had begin to use a term that I had never heard before, and I believe you call it Mobilified. Now, I'm all for making up great words, but tell me what Mobilified means in your world, and do you have any examples of any clients you're working with who have embraced a Mobilified strategy?
Absolutely. We love to make stuff up in the IT industry, right? We have more acronyms than anything else. It's ridiculous, some of these acronyms. But the word I'm using to describe what it is I'm going to show you is called Mobilified or mobilification. And if we look that up, it's not a real word, but once I use it and once I show you a pictorial representation of that, you're going to know what it is, and it's going to make sense. And it has changed the rules in terms of how we deliver some of these applications. Let me give you an example. Like I was explaining early on the call how Building Champions Edge webinar gives tremendous value. And a couple months ago, we had Dr. Henry Cloud on there, read his book, and I thought, man, this is amazing. How do you get that content out there? So I bought the book, and I gave it to a bunch of people. Right, one of my favorite authors. Another one of my favorite authors is a gentleman named Daniel Burris. And he, from a technology perspective, he's written a bunch of stuff for the last 30 years. He's written a book recently called Flash Foresight. And I'm listening to Daniel Burris at one of his conferences, and he's talking about some new technology trends. And he is certainly a thought leader in this industry, and I want to take this information that he's giving at the conference back to my team here in Arizona so we can share it, we can embrace it, and we can know how to use it. During his conference, Daniel says, how many of you would like to have my speaker's notes, right? And all of us are raising our hands, and I've been at many conferences before where, man, I want to go get my hands on those speaker's notes so I can bring them back to my team and I can share them, and I'll go up and introduce myself and shake their hand, say, hi, I'm Darren Patoni with the IT Workshop. Man, I'd love to share this information with my team and get this out to people. And about 50% of the time, I am successful in coming back with that information. The other 50% of the time, either, the person says, sure, I'll get that to you, and they don't follow through. But in this case, Daniel says, take out your cell phone, and I want you to text this number, and you'll have access to my speaker's notes, and you'll have access to a mobile web app. So this is a super powerful tool for presenters and keynote speakers. Attendees love this, all right? I was loving it. And by the way, when he delivered this, the web apps completely avoided the App Store or the Marketplace, and so I didn't have to pay anything. And I instantly got what you see on the screen, his speaker's notes and a copy of his Technology Trends newsletter and his web app, so I could see access to his blog, and I love that. So it became a little bit more tangible to see how the web app was installed on my phone, and now I could engage with him on a regular basis. Let me make this a little bit more tangible and show you how we're delivering this to some of our clients, right? And then on a short 30-minute call, we can't go over every single type of application, but I'm hoping this will stimulate some thought innovation to all of the listeners today and how you might use something like this in your business so that you can prepare for what this is like. Hey, this is one of our clients on the west side of Arizona called WeMarts, the West Maricopa Association of Realtors, right? They have over 5,000 members who are realtors, and it's an association of realtors where they go and they get information on the latest things having to do with real estate. Right, so they've got lots of members who need information. In the world of real estate today, boy, is that changing faster than ever, right? So all of these members need new ways of connecting, and so when the president of the organization is up giving an important content speech and wants to deliver, whether it's a membership package or information, he can say, all right, take out your cell phones, and I want you to text this number and put in this keyword. The keyword may be the name of the organization. It's unique. And then all of a sudden, we're able to push out content. And so the idea behind this new marketing trend is the fact that this has a little bit to do with psychology and math, putting those two together with having the right content, right? The psychology behind what people are looking for. What do they need? What's their pain point, and how are you going to solve that? And then pushing out content to them. Math being the number. We can push this out to people and know that 90% of those that opt in on this mobile text messaging platform will act upon the information that you give them. So you have to have some good psychology behind this. You can't just push out noise and garbage content. It's got to be good information. And you can also send them a link to your mobile web app. And that's exactly what's happening in this scenario here to one of our clients. Here's another one, right? This gets really interesting when it comes to healthcare. So this is an organization that we serve. It's called the Fringe Benefit Company here in Arizona. And like almost every state in our country, town, city, healthcare reform is causing all kinds of concerns for business owners. And this particular business owner knows that with the Affordable Care Act, and sometimes referred to as Obamacare, it is not going to be possible to literally go and sit down and meet with every client in healthcare and explain some of the options that are going to be available here in Arizona as a thought leader in Arizona in terms of what's available via subsidy in the new program. So in this scenario, he decided to use a mobile text messaging platform, combine it with a mobile web app, and use a one-to-many approach with some video integration and having people address this issue a little bit on their own first to see if they first qualify, if it makes sense, to whether or not they're going to be on the exchange or whether they're going to stay on their current plan. So then you can engage them in meaningful conversation and engagement after the fact. So another huge way to use a mobile text messaging platform combined with a mobile web app. Now here's another one I'm really passionate about. This is really exciting. This is an organization that we serve in Scottsdale called Family Matters. And Dr. Tim Kimmel leads this organization, and he may find himself traveling to organizations throughout the United States or worldwide, maybe meeting at a church and speaking to 400 or 500 people at a time, talking about the family. And I just know as a father, as a husband of two daughters and a son, When it comes to family matters, boy, it's a crazy time in history, and I want to stay close to my family. So when there are things that come up like, how do you talk to your daughters about sex and keep them in an information that's so sexually charged, if he's up front and he's saying, how many of you want my speaker's notes, my hand is going to be very high up in the air. And in this matter, he can say, take out your cell phones, and I want you to text this number and put in this keyword, type in the keyword Grace, and all of a sudden you've opted in, and now they can push out content. You can receive whatever information they're deciding to push out, or you can now connect with them via their mobile web app. And for them, they could use that for donation, or to see the upcoming events that are happening, or to listen to him on the radio program, the Family Matters Minute. And so this is just literally an incredible way to connect with people. And it's an exciting time to see some of these marketing trends because they're more affordable than ever. And boy, the numbers really, really make sense. So I'm excited to be able to share this info.
These are great examples, and I appreciate you showing us these, and they're diverse, right? We're not looking at any particular industry, which really matches my value here at Building Champions, because we don't serve a single industry. We serve lots of industries, and it's really great to see some ways that you've been able to use this tool with nonprofits, with people in real estate, with people in healthcare, and I'm sure there are dozens of other examples. One question I'm sure is going to be asked at some point is, where does all this fit in relation to social media? Because maybe some of our listeners thought, well, I thought social media was supposed to give me access that maybe those traditional forms of advertising didn't do. And so lots of people have created Facebook pages and LinkedIn accounts and all these things to keep in touch. Is this an alternative to social media, or where does it fit?
Well, man, that's a great question. And I don't know that there's an exact pinpointed mechanism for tying all of these things in together, other than to say that combining a mobile text messaging system with a mobile web app gives you another avenue to connect with those people that you serve, to tie in social media, to tie in LinkedIn when you're pushing out content. If you're a thought leader, right, if you're using your platform in the blog sense to push out content, you may want to use a mobile text messaging platform to push that out and let somebody else know, hey, I've got some important information to share with you now via this new avenue. Here, let me give you some numbers here. Right? Recently, there was a study that interviewed new college graduates, and they asked the college graduates what they use email for. And any idea, Michael, on what that #1 response was for using email today?
Well, I'm tempted to say they might have asked, what's email?
Yeah, you're probably right in that avenue. And this is amazing. This is where we've got some disconnect, right? Because even in our business, I process hundreds of emails a day, like a lot of the people on this call, and that's just the way a lot of businesses continue to operate. But college graduates, the #1 response for what you use email for is, we use it to communicate with old people.
Ooh, ouch.
Ooh, yeah. Well, we need to think about that. That doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, email is going the way of the dodo bird, or it's going away. I think it's here and we still use it, but it's not the preferred avenue of younger people, certainly in college graduates, certainly in my kids in my household. I mean, texting is the way they communicate primarily, which is challenging to get content across, right, in the minimal amount that you have via texting, but not impossible to push that out. And the opt-in rates, you could leverage that for your business. And you can literally use it as a mechanism to tie in Facebook, your blog posts, your LinkedIn. And this is where it gets exciting. It's not just one more thing that you add to your arsenal, but it's a way to tie in a lot of those communications. And we see businesses using this all over the place. And like you mentioned earlier, text messaging is not new. Right? Text messaging has been around for quite some time. You have to have a cellular plan. You have to have a cellular solution to be able to utilize that. And you see a lot of retail stores using text messaging. I know locally here I've opted in for a number of restaurants that I love getting text messages on, and when they're going to have a special coming up, that's just enough to twist my arm to end up saying, hey, family, guess where we're going tonight,
Yeah.
right? What is relatively new is combining that platform with a business to push out content with a mobile web app that works across iPhone, Android, Windows phones, and BlackBerry so that it's platform agnostic. And the cost is minimal. The beauty of this is you don't have to go out and write a very expensive application that you're going to then publish on the Apple Store or the Android Marketplace. It's a web app. So you're pushing that out, and it looks like an application in most scenarios. So beautiful, absolutely.
Well, look, this is a lot of information. I'm sure our callers are digesting a lot of what you're saying, but I'm sure some of them are asking what I think are the obvious questions is, okay, if I'm interested, where do I find the solution? How much does it actually cost? Who's going to set it up and manage it for me? Lots of questions your clients probably ask you, and so I'd love it if we could close out today's call really quickly with an example. Do you have that for us?
I sure do. And like you mentioned earlier, I did not want to use, Building Champions Edge webinar call has been so valuable to me and a lot of people on this call. I did not want to use this as a platform to just sell something, right? This is something that we've created to deliver value to our clients. What has happened is I've had lots and lots of people say, how do I get this? How do I use it? Some of you on the call have IT departments who are capable of putting this together and building this platform. Others have solution providers, and you're going to go out and look for this, and that's wonderful, right? Because this is a market trend. Some of you are like saying, how do I do this? What is this? I know it's tangible, and I want to know exactly how to make this work. So for those of you that are saying, how do I use this in my own business, and I want to follow up, I want some more information, I'll be happy to do that. Here's how you do it. Take out your cellular phone now, and I want you to text to the number 96362. You're not going to be charged anything. This is free. And put in there BC Edge. Right? No quotes. It doesn't have to be case sensitive. If you put it in with caps, that's fine. Put in BC Edge and press send. Now, as soon as you do that, you're going to get an opt-in message that says, hey, we could send up to 4 messages per month. Right? We're not going to spam you. We're not going to spam your inbox or anything like that. We'll push out valuable content. And you'll also have a link on there that you can click on and fill out a form that says, I want to know more information about how to build this and put this in place for my organization. And let me tell you, the dollars and the economics behind this are dirt cheap to be able to deliver some of these kind of solutions. So boy, does it change the economics in terms of marketing with this new media.
Awesome, awesome. So as we close out the call today, my objective as a coach, anytime I have a 30-minute call, is to close out with an action plan. So listeners, here's the action plan I have down. You may want to take the note like I've done, because here are the 3 takeaway steps that I have for my action plan. First, I'm going to text the word BC Edge, or the keyword, to 96362, just so I can experience the simplicity of the delivery that we've looked at. It looks great on a PowerPoint. I'd like to experience it. Next, I'm going to enter my basic information so that Darren can follow up with me to show me what the follow-up experience actually looks like, because I really do want to see what a customer would experience before I think about how to do that. And then, of course, as we transition to our closing slide here, I want to encourage you, the listener, to contact us on our social media here at Building Champions, and just let us know if you found value in what we brought to you today. Because again, this is a little bit different kind of Champions Edge call than we typically have, and I want to make sure we're adding value to your business and your vision for your marketing strategy using some tools you hopefully already use and that are easily available to combine in this Mobilified format. So Darren, we're at 10 o'clock my time. That's our 30 minutes. I want to thank you for joining us today. Thanks for just giving us all of this great information, and I hope people will, in fact, take action on texting BC Edge to 96362 to get more information. So thank you.
My pleasure, Michael. As always, good to be with you, my friend. I hope this added some value and challenged some thinking and got out of the box a little bit today. Thank you again.
You're welcome, and thank you. Have a great day.